Welcome, everyone. We will begin the webinar on Launch Diagnostics, pre- and post-collision scan, and two new products, Roxie W and Gear Scan. I'm Melissa Jolls with RDA Impact. Robert Curtis, National Sales Director, WD Accounts at Launch, is your presenter today. The presentation will take approximately 20 to 30 minutes. We are recording it, and we'll post it on our YouTube channel. If you have questions during the webinar, you can type them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen, and they will answer them during the presentation. Now I'll turn it over to Robert.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join the presentation today. Again, we have a little bit of an assortment that we'd like to go over with you today. We're going to start, the majority of what you hear we'll talk about will be kind of the pre and post scan and the various tools that we are presenting to you to allow you the opportunity from, I don't want to say an entry level, but kind of an introductory level, all the way up to a couple of pro scan tools as we go on. So into slide one now. We have our Roxie W, which is a very great tool. It's our automotive inspection terminal. Little bit of history about this. We call Roxie W Roxie. When the tool is engaged in the OBD connector beneath the steering wheel, the unit actually talks to you. And so the purpose of this unit, without going through too much of the specifics, this is a great unit for the front of the shop, folks. So in like a paint and body shop, your estimator, your person in the front end, in a regular shop, a regular mechanic shop, this would be your person that would be writing the tickets up, if you will. Once the work is complete, when they do what would be a post scan, they can plug this unit in and it will take you through all the different modules. So as you're looking at the screen in the very front, you'll notice a 5-inch screen that's on there. What that unit will do is it'll actually visually display the unit as it's going through the modules. And so once you're complete, you know, it literally takes minute 30 seconds, minute 45 seconds to go through this. Okay, once it's complete, the person, you know, the mechanic or the estimator can sit down with the client and say, hey, all the work has been completed. However, we did notice, you know, that in this module, maybe you have an emissions issue. Is that something that you'd like to address right now? Either we could do it here if you have the capability in the shop, or if you have a relationship with another shop, you can refer that. The beauty of this tool, here's where it sells itself, is that per transaction, you can put in 5 email addresses. So for said client, you can put in their email address. You can obviously put in the insurance carrier's address. I would recommend putting in your shop's email address as well. But again, the beauty of this is the relationship piece. So you literally are sitting down with your client. You're walking them through it. You're visually showing it to them so you build that trust ratio. But at the end of the day, you're building your ticket. You know, hypothetically, maybe there is nothing wrong. Once, say, the paint body scenario, say they went in for some body damage, you go through there, there's no other modules. But if there is something, that's where you have the opportunity to add money onto the ticket. Now, with the Roxie W, if there's one downside, is it's not a reset tool. So you're not going to be doing any resets, hypothetically, any oil resets, steering angle resets, parking brake, DPF resets, nothing of that nature, okay? What this is just a front-end tool to find any hidden work that needs to be done and to add money to the ticket. So again, it's a great tool for that. Our next tool that I would love to get into would be the Gear Scan. Now, when we talk about the Gear Scan, this is a high-end diagnostic code reader, if you will. The first thing I'd like to talk about with this, if you look at the screen itself, would be the easier to use user interface. It does work off Android 7.0, but if you look at the user interface in the front, everything is on the front for you. There is no drop-down menus. So when you look at it, you can do you plug it in. It's got an auto detect feature where it's going to detect, such as the VIN number, any previous work that's been done. But also, it'll visually show any resets that need to be done of that nature in the work as well. For the mechanics that aren't inclined to where they're not technically savvy, again, everything's on the front screen. So when you look at it, it shows like an update button. So the updates, we have a team here of over 900 folks that do R&D throughout the world. So literally, they're doing research and development and updates on a daily basis, 365 days a year. So literally what I tell folks like this that have, whether it be this scan tool or our pro scan tools, which we'll get in a little later in this presentation, is typically once a week go in and do your updates. But again, everything's on the front of the screen, so this is very much an easy to use user interface, easy tool for the shops to use. This tool you can do the resets on. One of the great selling points of this tool is the fact that you can email a health report with this tool, which is, again, very big. So your pre and post scan, when you're trying to keep that cost in your shop, you're able to send those health reports in. This again has some very good features. I talked about the the easy reface. Some of the resets it'll do: steering angle sensor, brake pad reset, ABS bleeding, battery matching, oil light reset, DPF regeneration. Those are just some of the features that it has. Again, so as we kind of go through the presentation, so definitely kind of entry level one getting in would be the Roxie. To diagnose, add money to the ticket. Then you get into the gear scan where you can start the resets. Our next promotion it has been a very successful promotion, especially in our East Coast, and that's our Pad 2 AE promotion. I'm going to kind of go back to the slide a little bit, but I want to get into the Pad 2 AE, if you will. The Pad 2 AE is a military grade IP65 dustproof, waterproof scan tool. Some of the other great features that it has is great exotic vehicle coverage. So hypothetically, somebody comes into your shops with, say, a Lamborghini, a Maybach, a Maserati. You're covered with this tool. As far as your standard coverage, as far as European, domestic, and Asian, you're covered as well. This tool also has the auto detect feature as well, where it's going to recognize the VIN instantly and any prior work that has been done. There's also a feature with this tool called the Diagnostic feedback feature. And what that is as you're going along, you can provide feedback. If the mechanic is unsure how to address an issue, the feedback can be sent via the tool to our call center, and then one of our folks will provide feedback via the tool on how to go ahead and clear the code or what steps to take, as well as that. Another great feature that this tool offers is our tech-to-tech feature. One of the great features of the tech-to-tech feature is, hypothetically, say you've got one mechanic that has this in Missouri and another one that has a Pad 2 in the Philadelphia area. One guy is the brake guy as far as resets, the other guy is not. So the person that's not the brake reset guy can give that gentleman his user ID code, and he can log into this tablet and take control of the tablet and go ahead and help them clear that code. So again, a very great tablet, very good for the paint and body industry as well as the regular shops. Very durable. Couple other features I just want to touch on why this is really a great premium tablet is also its expandability feature. On this tablet, not only can you do the automotive, but we do sell a separate heavy-duty add-on module, which will allow the shops to do not only automotive, but take it to the next level, and they can do Cat 4 and Cat 8 as well as far as heavy-duty. So this allows the shops to truly expand. We also sell some different modules. In regards to this, we sell a battery box, a lab scope, a video scope, and a sensor box as well. So again, this tool is truly expandable. On the line, I have Rich Deemer, who handles the Philadelphia market for S&L marketing. Rich, can you tell us a little bit about the Pad 2 and the success you've had back in your area with it?
Yes, the Pad 2 is pretty much the preferred tool right now. I mean, people are really looking at it. They like the durability of the tool, especially in a body shop atmosphere. In the body shop atmosphere, you have sanding, so you have snow flying around. The tool is completely sealed, so nothing gets on the internal parts of the tool. It is water resistant, and it's also shock resistant. People like that. I mean, people put something on the top of the tool or a cart falls, they bump into it, it falls down. For typical conventional scan tools, the screen can crack. This one will not. Very good success with it. People are very happy with it.
Great. Thank you, Rich.
Hey, Robert, real quick, it's Chris. Just to add to...
Hi, Chris, give me a second. Just go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
Just to add to that, I would just reiterate, especially in the East or out in the West Coast where, you know, you see a lot of foreign cars, that exotic car coverage comes in handy. The other thing I think for the body shops that's really important, and it's not just the pad 2, but it would be all the equipment, would be the tools are up to date, meaning there's 2019 coverage in the tools. Body shops, you know, they see cars that, you know, drive off the showroom floor and then get wrecked that day. So we are right up to date on our coverage in 2019, which is big for those guys as well.
Great. Everybody, I didn't have a chance to introduce him. The gentleman, Chris, that spoke right now, that's Chris Schaub. He's the president of S&L Marketing. He's one of the marketing companies that here at Launch, we're fortunate enough to have a great relationship with, and they're very good at going out and talking with clients, doing clinics, and really educating the clients on the Launch product that we do offer. So again, Chris, I wanted to formally introduce you to everybody. For those of you that as go on, if you have questions with your distributors, if you're on the East Coast, definitely take advantage of the fact that we do have gentlemen like Rich Deemer and Chris Schaub available for, you know, when the scan tools are sold, they can come in and talk to you about it. Or if you have prospective clients that you want to bring in for a meeting, a formal meeting where a presentation could be done, that's where S&L really excels at. So back to the pad 2. In regards to the promotion that we're running, I touched on this briefly, but this is a very good promotion that we've had some success with, which is our pad 2 that I spoke of briefly, this tool here. But we also run a promotion with an additional year of software support and the free docking charging station. This is a promotion that's done very well nationwide. And this is definitely something that if you feel this tool is the tool for your shops, this is something that you want to look at. This will give you the most value for your shop. You know, your distributor can give you the individual cost when it comes to the docking station and the software, but that's, you know, that will pay for in itself in the first when you get for some of the initial work done initially. Chris, did you want to add anything on the PB&E promotion?
No, I'm good, Robert.
Okay. The next slide I want to get into is our current, we want to call it our current flagship slide. This is our new tool that we have on the market right now, which is our X431 throttle. We currently have a promotion right now, which is a throttle. The Roxie W, which I initially spoke of, is kind of our entry-level tool, the tool that is very good at finding the additional work, does not do the resets, but it's very good at adding money to the ticket, and the software update that would come with it. This by far, for those of you that want to take your shop to the next level, this is the tool that you really want to look at for that. The throttle itself, it features the new Android 7.1 system, new for launch. If you look at the front, it has the easier to use user interface that I spoke of when I talked about with the gear scan. So again, very easy to use for the shops. This unit, as similar to the Pad 2AE, is dustproof, waterproof, military grade. Rich talked about the fact of the durability of it being dropped in a shop and the screen not cracking. Again, it's a very good unit. This screen in itself has a dual band Wi-Fi feature from 2.4 to 5.0 gigahertz. Strong coverage as far as all makes and all models, much similar to the Pad 2AE. So for those of you, those shop owners that are out there that are on this call right now, when you have those high-end cars that come into the shop, like the Maserati, the Maybach, the Lamborghini, the Ferraris, the Aston Martins, you're covered with this. as well, but also when it comes to your basic coverage, as far as Asian, European, domestic, you're covered with this as well. This unit, similar to the Pad 2 AE, also has expandability. So not only can your shop do with cars, but you can also get the aforementioned heavy-duty add-on module, which will allow you to do cars and the heavy-duty trucks. This unit also will have the expandability. When I spoke of with the Pad 2 AE, the ability to add a sensor box, a lab scope, a battery box, or a traditional video scope, you have the capability as well. Again, the processor is very good on this as well. Chris, anything I'm missing on the throttle unit? I know it's new to you and Rich on the East Coast. You've had some success with it already. Anything that I'm missing you might be able to add?
There is more to the interface page, Robert. I'm sorry, I'm in a shop, but there is more to the interface page. There's 2.5 full pages of icons on the throttle. So things like the scope, the battery box, those are all function buttons right on the front interface. Other than that, the software is the same as the other tools. All the tools carry the same, OE coverage to them. It's just the functionality of the tablet itself.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. So again, before I open it up to questions, I just kind of want to recap where we're at. Again, we kind of ran through it a little quick, if you will. But again, in doing the presentation, when we talked about, we started off with the Roxie W. At that point, I didn't have Chris on the call. So Chris, before I kind of do a recap of the thing, did you want to talk about some of the success you've had with this tool on the East Coast?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, we've been selling Launch now for about a year. We focused primarily on the PVE business to begin with, and really, kind of went after the pre and post scan because it's been such an important part of the industry the last couple of years. And I would just say that, the coverage in the tool, whether it be the specific OE or the fact that it's right up to date to 2000, whatever model year we're in, and then the simplicity of running the reports have really made it a great option for the paint and body shops. And it's honestly, a tool that once we're able to show it to a body shop, if they're looking for the ability to run pre and post, it almost becomes an automatic sale.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. So again, just to recap, as we went through the promotion. So again, with the Roxie W, this is really, if there was a downside to this tool, again, to recap, we'll not do resets. The plus side to this tool, and there's so many, is number one, is the engagement piece. This tool in itself, when you're running in and you're going through all your reports, you're getting it sent to your client via the email. You're literally sitting down with them and you can show them as you go along. So, your shops are building that trust ratio up. You're also getting the information over as far as what additional work may want to be done. So you have the capability of adding money to the ticket. So again, this is great for your front end folks as well, the front end in the shop, the estimators in that, if you will. The gear scan, that's where we start to get into the capability. Again, a great tool with the easier to use user interface, has all the resets, transmission included. The auto VIN detect, again, runs off of Android 7.0. The big selling feature on this, as it is out there, is the capability of email and a health report. Does graphing and other things as stated in the presentation, but with this tool, you start to get into be able to do resets. So not quite a full-blown professional scan tool, but you do have the capability of doing resets as well. So then we got into the Pad 2 AE PB&E kit. Again, a very good tool. We talked about all the features with that as far as dust-proof, waterproof, all the expandability features that this has as far as coverage and that. This is a great tool as far as it's done very well in the PB&E shops, but also in the regular mechanical, the regular maintenance shops it's done well as well. And finally, we talked about the newer promotion, the newer unit, the throttle, which is the newer of the two units. A lot of similarities to the Pad 2, but it does have some enhancements, obviously, with the Android 7.1 and the quicker processor. And this is the best promo for all of you out there with the throttle, the Roxie W, and the second-year software certificate included. At this point, I'll open it up to any questions, if anybody has any questions.
We don't have any yet. Does anybody want to ask Robert or Chris a question? And I will follow up by sending everybody your information, if you don't mind, and they can email and follow up. Here's a question. Okay. My name is Dan, and I have purchased 2 launch scan tools. Mike Anderson told a group that any shop that uses aftermarket launch scan tools is a hack shop. Non-OEM scan tools. I am offended. Please give me your response to this treatment. I mean, to his statement. Please give me your response to his statement. Do you want to read that again? So Mike Anderson told the group that the shop, it's a hack shop. I don't know why he's saying that.
I'm not sure. Could we maybe get this gentleman's information? I could get some more information from him to answer his question.
Let me just address that real quick. So
go ahead. Thanks, Chris.
Launch has 800 software engineers. It is correct to say that we reverse engineer a lot of our information, but we also authenticate that information with the OE. I have been on vehicles side by side with what is called an OE tool. And I can tell you that the information has always been identical. There are people in the industry that are trying to push, mainly the OEs, trying to push for OE certifications and different things. Now, we all know that there's a Right to Repair Act. There's a lot going on right now, but using an aftermarket scan tool is absolutely not in any way diminishing the information you're getting from that vehicle or the ability to repair that vehicle.
Okay, I have another question. Will GearScan read ADAS modules?
At this point, no, it will not. The tool that is set up to read the ADAS will be the throttle, which is the aforementioned tool at this point right now. We will have the throttle that will be the one that will be the flagship tool for the ADAS.
You got to remember with ADAS, you're talking about bidirectional work because now you're actually, your scan tool is commanding modules on the car to do something, right? And in this case, you're basically commanding calibration based on whatever the OE spec of those cameras and sensors are. So you have to have a full-blown diagnostic scan tool. The GearScan, I would tell the shops, if you're just looking to do pre and post and be able to clear the codes before you do that post scan, if that's all you want to be involved in, that's a great option for the price. But if you want to get into diagnostics, then you got to be looking at the full scan tool, the full diagnostic tool.
Okay. Any other questions? Don't see any. Well, we will follow up. Again, I'll send your information out to everybody, Robert. And again, talk to your RDA distributor. And there's promotional prices going on as we speak. So we hope you guys found this informative. And we are recording it, so you can go back and listen to it again. And I'll follow up by sending Robert's information, and we'll be in touch with future training opportunities. Thank you, Robert and Chris. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Great. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the group. Have a great day, everyone.